Hey, hi, hello. It's the LaSala Show. Number 23. January 15th, 2021. My guest tonight, you know her from the popular podcast, Bless the Biddies, Miss Madeline Altamirano.
Hey!
Woo!
I don't know why I gave myself an applause, but...
It was a half-hearted applause. It was more like you were trying to catch something.
Oh, I got it. Okay. Hi.
Thanks for joining me. How are you doing? Is that a loaded question?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I have a lot of things just like firing off in my brain right now. I'm just like, I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm worried. I want to cry sometimes.
Okay, I think that's pretty much every person in the world right now.
Good to know. I'm not alone.
Yeah,
good,
you're doing
great.
good. You're on par.
Perfect.
So in terms of the move, Louisiana, it's been almost officially a little over a month.
Yeah, just about.
How have you been coping?
Oh, I mean, things are great as of now. We're just bunkering down.
Is it bunkering or hunkering? Or both?
Tunkering.
Lunkering.
Yes, we're lunkering down and...
Zunkering with an X.
With an X. Listen, I mean, it's an adjustment. I just have to... It's only been a month. It still feels like, oh, I'm going back home soon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I really got to get into the groove.
Yeah, it doesn't help that our freight hasn't been delivered yet. All of our loved belongings are still somewhere in the tri-state area.
Gives me agita.
Well, they did call today, and a call from them is a good sign because it seems like they're trying to care. But they said sometime next weekend at the latest.
Like, why can't we get a definitive date? Like, why are we getting the runaround? Oh,
Because
in a couple of days, all right? Who knows?
We chose a very cheap and unreputable moving company.
I hate to put myself in that bubble with you, Jesse.
Well, you were there with me when I made that terrible decision, telling me not to do it.
I said, hey, don't do it. Oh, I already did it. Oh, okay. Well.
This is how you're going to win the custody battle of our cats in court one day. You're going to hold this.
You're planning for the future.
No,
I like
you're going to hold this against me for the rest of our days on this big blue marble.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring it up multiple times. Multiple occasions.
Very reassuring.
Oh, you're telling the story. This reminds me of that time where Jesse made that terrible decision.
Next subject. I'll just carry one of those around in my pocket for any social event that we ever go to.
Okay. Perfect.
At
least we're on the same page. Okay.
We have sort of set up the rooms in a way that we always imagined, where you're obviously the early bird that gets the worm in the morning.
Unfortunately.
And I'm the night owl. And usually, or in the past rather, we had to juggle that between one bedroom where I would be up until who knows, and you would hang in there for a while.
Barely.
Yeah.
And then I would be up and you would look at me and then a second later I'd be asleep.
Yeah.
And with my mouth open.
You would always, and I would take pictures, and I have them all on my phone. So that's my deposition to the court. If you want to pull some
with
shit.
With the cat custody battle?
Yes.
She sleeps with her mouth open. She is disgusting.
No, she's unfit. She's a narcoleptic mess. She can't be accounted for to feed these cats or change their litter. So yeah, I have that in my back pocket if you wish.
Okay.
But we did set up this new setup. What is what's your best take of it? I mean, what?
I love that there is some separation where if I did want to go to sleep, there's not a giant screen with a Madden on it just flashing as I'm trying to go to sleep.
Right.
So that's good.
Or like a droning podcast in the background.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Carolla, I hear him in my thoughts.
Well, you know,
I fall asleep to his nasally voice.
You just gotta get used to the voice, and it's fine after 10 years.
Yeah. That's like one of the first things I said when we first started dating, and you would play Love Line, and I'd be like, God, his voice is terrible. And I'm used to it now. Doesn't mean that it's a good voice, though.
But also,
terrible.
You were the first to say, you were like, no, it doesn't bother me. Keep it on. It's fine.
It didn't bother me. Like, the podcast didn't bother me, but his voice was just terrible.
Still to this day.
At first.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can drown it out.
It grows on you.
Yeah.
So we have our little setup here. My old childhood bedroom is, in fact, has been converted into the tiniest man cave you've ever seen in your life. TVs, laptops, internet, fast internet.
Hackers
and Pacers decorations.
Yeah. I love the man cave.
Oh, you're always in here, so I don't know what the deal is.
You have a nice carpet.
That's true. I did get a nice shag carpet. We won't be using that in the summer months. We'll actually have something else installed where it blows up your skirt and your balls because it's going to be so effing hot.
I'll be the judge, but we'll
just
see.
Wait. Just wait till it's 9 o'clock at night and it's 85 degrees. And 100% humidity.
No wind.
No. It's just, you could fart and the fart will be there in an hour later.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a lingerer. Speaking of farting, our newest cat, Bosco, Lenny Bosco, he's a farter. He's some sort of like a quasi-rapist, but he has his balls cut off, so I don't know how that works, but he's all kind of things.
Unfortunate farter. I mean, I'm starting to think these farts come out when he's excited.
Either when he's very excited or he's very relaxed is when he does his damage. And then here I go and buy him the wet food that Cookie would never touch. And now this man's farting up a storm.
Yeah, he farted I want to say 5 times today, and that's a lot.
Yeah. And one time I thought I heard it, but you said no, he just hit his head.
He did. He did hit his head.
Well, you were sprinkling catnip on his face.
Okay. All right. Don't call me out, animal rights people, all right?
In the custody trial, this will be brought up. Just sprinkling catnip.
We have a jar, a little vial of catnip.
It looks like weed.
It does. And I let him sniff it. He was so excited. And he kept pulling my hand down. And some sprinkled out. And then I sprinkled some more out. And during that time, he got excited. He farted. It was terrible. And it lingered badly.
Custody goes to Mr. LaSala.
But he was very excited. He was rolling around. He was living his life.
I gave my child some methamphetamine. They were very excited. They were rolling around. Interesting.
This is
parallel.
legal.
Okay.
It's legal.
So we've been playing darts because that's one of my COVID purchases.
Darts.
I got darts, and that's one of the things we would always go do out in Brooklyn was, go to the bar, shoot some darts, shoot some pool.
Yeah.
So I installed a dartboard in our home, and you are 0-6 right now?
I thought it was 5.
I think I remember doing the slash
Oh, yeah.
with the 5 and another
Oh,
rung
no.
for
I don't
the
remember the other one, but I just remember it being 5.
6. All right, well, I think it's 6, but
Either way, it's terrible. I know.
what seems to be your strategy or lack thereof when it comes to shooting darts?
You know what? I can't explain it enough. I don't know how to throw, and I'm very confused with which hand to use still
Right.
as a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah, all your darts land on the board sort of at a 45-degree angle. Like, you throw
'Cause
darts
that's what
like,
I'm throwing them up. First of all, I'm tall,
hey, don't use that excuse.
but my throwing technique is up. I don't know what that's called, but it's up.
You got a high throw. And I tried to teach you.
I tried.
I think maybe now I've just gotten into your head, because you've beaten me before. Whenever we would go to, what is it, Uncle Larry's, or I don't know, I can't remember.
Uncle Barry's.
Uncle Barry's.
Buttermilk.
So yeah, we've been playing darts and kicking your ass. Just wait till I set up the Nintendo Switch in here and we really get some cozy matches going on.
See, this is one of the best parts of our relationship is that we can be competitive with each other. And I like that. Because you're very competitive and I'm very competitive in some ways.
Right, but you get mad. And also
I don't get mad. I get mad, obviously, but like, I'm fine. I'm like, let's go again. We played like 3 times yesterday. Darts.
Yeah.
And I lost them all terribly.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a nice dynamic. I wish you played basketball, because then we could really injure ourselves.
Well, I'm not playing basketball with any of these crusty kids.
Okay.
Youngins on the basketball court. No thanks.
We went to our local park. Shout out to Girard Park in Lafayette, Louisiana. And you walked the track.
I did a little speed walk and a run.
Mm-hmm. And then I played basketball. And what were some takeaways from not only your walk, but also overhearing the discourse on the basketball court?
A lot of unnecessary drama on the court. Oh, that was a foul. No, it wasn't. Or they knew, but they didn't acknowledge that it was a foul, and they just kept going. And then somebody was like, no, that's a foul. And
it's a foul. Nah, man, your man didn't call it. It don't count.
A lot of, nickname calling,
Oh, they were calling me a nickname.
Yes. You got the nickname Aaron Rodgers, like right away. Like literally the second you got there.
Over under 12 times I was called Aaron Rodgers within like the 5 minutes you were actually sitting with me.
Oh, yeah.
Like over?
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers got next. Oh, y'all want to play next? Aaron Rodgers over there, he got next. So for all the black people that want to say, oh, we all look alike, huh? Really? Because this black guy thought I looked like Aaron Rodgers, and it happened to me in Brooklyn.
Okay, but
and it happened
also...
to me. Yeah, it happened to me in Manhattan as well. So let's not discriminate boroughs here. I do not look like Aaron Rodgers.
There is, you know what? It's you. You're wearing Green Bay. You have similar features, but they see you and they see the Green Bay, and then it's like, oh, that's Aaron Rodgers.
That's very lazy of them.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll take it.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And then I do the discount double check, and then I miss a free throw. Yeah, good times. No, but I'm having to weigh the traction and the breakdown of my body while playing these games. I have to really pick my spots because I took a spill in one of these games, and some dude just straight like clipped me. Like it was not a basketball defensive move. It was just like, I'm gonna run my body into yours while you're midair. And I just like tossed onto the ground and like I did like that dramatic roll. But I didn't even do it on purpose. Like my body just happened to roll a couple extra times. And they just kept playing.
I just like imagine you are a tall person just rolling.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I still have I got some little
It's disgusting.
strawberry brush burns on my arms and legs. And then the best part was they kept playing. And one of my teammates was like, "Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul." And the dude with the ball driving to the hoop, he was like, "Oh, he didn't call it." Just like, well, okay.
I was tumbling backwards.
That's how
twice.
we're playing? Okay, cool. All right. Well, now I have a new understanding on my approach to Girard Park basketball at age 35 with no health insurance. Awesome.
I will not be doing that anytime soon.
Well, I did order a mouthpiece, though, because, I'm vain, even though my shit teeth don't prove that.
You have nice teeth.
I just don't want to come out of a meaningless street pickup basketball game with like a chipped tooth a la Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber. That's not a good look for me when I have to apply for a job here in a few months.
Facts. Save your grill.
Or I'll just wear the mouthpiece to the interview.
Just drool coming out of your mouth.
Sorry, I'm not used to talking with this hair in my mouth. And it's, oh, you have a little spittle on your mouth, sir. What is...
A little spittle.
I thought I'm a little drunk today because my tooth hurts so bad I have to numb the pain.
I used to have a teacher back in like elementary school, and she always had spittle on like the corner of her mouth. It was like white.
Oh no, it would build up. Yes. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of talking for a teacher to be doing, that you're building up the spittle. And one of my closest friends has this same, what is it called? Disability?
Is it called a disability?
I don't know. Everything seems to be nowadays, but it's definitely not a good thing to have. It's not a handicap. It's I can't think of the word right now.
It's just, not aware.
It's unfortunate.
I feel like if they knew that this was happening and forming, they would be aware.
He's foaming at the mouth.
Just always have a hanky on deck, just wiping your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I touch my face too much because my big thing is I don't want to get eye boogers. Like I'm always scratching my eyes and I'm always like in my eyes like, fuck. That's why I would for sure think I would have gotten COVID by now, but
you don't go anywhere. Of course you're not getting COVID.
I played basketball with a bunch of handicapped people.
That was disgusting.
How dare you?
That was disgusting.
All right,
not because they were handicapped, just because it was disgusting. You got all these scratches. People are scratching you. There was somebody there with no shirt on.
That's true. And I had to guard him one game.
Woo!
And I told him, "Sir, you're not going to score one basket this game." Because he's one of those dudes that when he's not on offense, he stays back. It's called a cherry picker, if you've ever played pickup ball. You don't play any defense. You just stand there and wait for your team to get the rebound, and then they throw a long pass to you, and you're wide open. And so I saw that's how he was playing the game, and I was like, well, I got this guy. And he's like a full 1.5 feet shorter than me. And everybody was like, nah, man, you should probably get the big guy. I was like, nah, I got this fucking guy. And everybody's like, all right. That dude didn't score one basket the whole game. And he was the one that was mainly calling me Rodgers.
Every Rodgers.
Coincidence? I think not. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, we're going to move to the NFL playoffs.
Oh, yes. My
Your expertise. Well, you just watched Dan Patrick's show. You know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, they were eating some soup.
No, that's not the part we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
They were breaking down some heavy stats here. Like the fact that the Packers have scored the most points in the entire league this season at 509.
What?
Robert Tonyan has more touchdowns this year than catches all of last year. Devontae Adams caught more touchdown passes than Mason Crosby had field goal attempts. The Packers scored on 80% of their trips to the red zone. That is the highest percentage in the NFL in over 40 years.
Whoa.
48 out of 60. The receiving touchdown leaders over the past 5 seasons. Number 1, Devontae Adams at 58. The next closest, Tyreek Hill at 47, Mike Evans at 46, DeAndre Hopkins, Antonio Brown at 41. Devontae Adams is your touchdown leader over the last 5 seasons. Aaron Rodgers in the last 3 years has 99 touchdowns and only 11 interceptions. The Rams come into Lambeau Field tomorrow at 3:30 Central as 7-point underdogs. And this game scares the fuck out of me because, as I was telling you earlier, this is like when you're on the basketball court, you have a wide open layup. Like you're that cherry picker dude. And they pass it down and you're like, it's just you in the basket. And you go up for the layup, it's the easiest shot in basketball, and you just bounce it right off the rim or the backboard. That's how I feel about this game. It's so easy. Jared Goff, Rams quarterback, with a broken thumb. He has pins in his thumb. He doesn't play well in the cold. Aaron Donald, their best defensive player, probably the best defensive player in the league, has torn cartilage in his chest. Cooper Kupp, probably their second best wide receiver. He's banged up with some knee or leg injury. It just seems like this is going to be too easy for the Packers, and that's when I get frightened because we've had so many easy games that we should have won en route to a second Super Bowl under Rodgers. I'm a little uptight.
What I don't get, okay, is that, okay, you feel this way. I would think that you would feel more confident about their ability, but you take it the other way. You look at it from the totally different perspective of how, well, this is way too easy. Like, it has to be like a catch or something. Like,
yeah, I don't trust my Packers. I've said it. I've been burned before. Saints fans know what I feel. I didn't mean to get there so soon, but that's coming in a minute here. It's just I've been burned so many times. It's very stressful. So I will be getting no sleep tonight, and I'll probably wake up at 7 in the morning on no sleep, and then have to wait for a great amount of hours, pacing, I don't know, masturbating, who knows? It could get ugly. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
All in all, I will take the Packers to win outright. It may be an ugly game. I'm thinking like 27-23, where they're going to make me clench my little butthole the entire game like, catch it, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Oh, touchdown, woo! Oh, no, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I hate you. Oh, touchdown, woo! And you've seen this, yes?
Yes. the many emotions of watching a Packers game with you.
But, 13 out of the 16 times this year, it's been a win. Yes?
Yes.
Even the one that I fell asleep on. You were
I
surprised
will
at that.
never let that down. 2.
Well, the first Bears game, we were traveling, we were on the road. The game was out of hand. I was celebratory, and then I took a nap, and I woke up, and the game was over, and we had won.
You woke up in the morning?
Yeah. I looked at my phone, it was 6:05, and I saw a notification, Packers win 40 to whatever, 20-something. Mostly garbage time touchdowns. Anyway, I got the Packers winning this one, even though I'm a little frightened by it. The second game, tomorrow, Saturday, Ravens at Bills. Now, Lamar Jackson openly admitted he doesn't like playing in the cold, which I think is a weak move. The Bills are favored by 2.5. Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Bills, played at Wyoming, I believe. He's used to playing in the cold. He's had sort of an MVP type season, if it weren't for Aaron Rodgers. I got the Bills in a blowout, I hate to say.
They're playing in Buffalo.
Oh, yes.
Woo!
It's going to be windy. It's going to be like that wet rain, slush. And as much as that bodes well for the Ravens' run game, which they're actually very good at, one of the tops in the league, I think the Bills will be able to put up more points based on Josh Allen being able to rocket the ball in this bad weather to Stephon Diggs. And the Bills' defense is just good enough to make Lamar Jackson uncomfortable, to stop the run, make them one-dimensional. I got the Bills definitely covering the 2.5-point spread. Boom. Maddy, your thoughts?
No thoughts.
Would you rather live in Buffalo or Baltimore?
I'm just excited for the Bills. Good for them.
Yeah, it's been a while, and it's a tortured fan base.
And also, I would never want to live in any of those places.
Jesus. That's actually pretty solid. Baltimore doesn't seem like the safest community.
And Buffalo is
a little
not
rural.
Cute.
Yeah. All right, so Sunday we have the Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 10 points. That's a lot of points for a spread in the playoffs. However, the Browns are coming off of a mild beating, maiming of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Your father's team. I was looking out for him. I was trying to see if he was okay because on the very first play of the game, their center, Pouncey, hikes the ball over Big Ben's head. So he could have hiked it over actual Big Ben. It was ridiculous on the first play of the game. And then it was really all downhill from there.
It was a bad start.
They were up like 28 to something within 2 quarters. It was a runaway game. Pittsburgh came back and made it look a little closer than it was. I don't know. I don't know on this one because the Chiefs started out the year beating teams by like 12 points on average. And then they ended the year beating teams by like 6, maybe 5-point average. Just not as prolific, not as dialed in. Yet, again, this is sort of their MO. I mean, last year, to get to the Super Bowl, they had to come back from deficits of 28, 21, and they still won. So I would take the Browns and the points just based on, all right, maybe the Chiefs will get up, or maybe the Browns will get up early, but the Chiefs come back and make it a close game, and ultimately the Chiefs win on like a last second touchdown.
Right, it's gonna be like something epic.
I don't see this one being a blowout. I don't see it being more than 10 points either way. I got the Browns and the points, but I got the Chiefs to win.
Okay, I don't think I have anybody. I don't really care. Who
How dare you?
should who I don't know. Cleveland Browns? No. I don't know.
That's true. Okay, so this new resurgence of the Browns, this is something new to you. I mean, since we've been together and watching
Yes.
football, the Browns have never been a thing.
No.
And now they have this hotshot Baker Mayfield who's making these shitty commercials.
Yeah, they're bad.
Well, he's a better commercial actor than he is quarterback, I say.
Ooh, the shade is real.
I think he's very solid in those commercials. I just think they have bad premises. But he pulls off his character, okay? And if he wants to win this game against the Chiefs, all he's going to have to do is hand the ball off to his running backs and maybe make a few throws here and there. But if they're going to try to get into a shootout with Kansas City, it's not going to look well for Mr. Baker and his
Mayfields.
Mayfields. So yeah, take the Browns with the points, but take the Chiefs to win. Our last game. Oh God, can you believe football season is almost over? Like, I mean this weekend's okay, but you know there's a growing loom. You know, coming into next weekend when there's only 2 games and then only the one. There's not even a Pro Bowl in between. It's just like...
and then the Packers go to the Super Bowl.
Okay, don't... yes, probably so.
And then the weekend plays halftime.
And then the Packers have a 30-point lead at halftime. And then the weekend plays at halftime. And then the Packers lose to the Chiefs. That's what's going to happen. And I will murder my sister.
What?
She's in love with the weekend.
What does that have to do with her? That's
It all just
terrible.
ties back around.
Wow. It's rude.
Somehow it will be the weekend's fault. No. So the Buccaneers travel to New Orleans. Who knows? They're probably already there if they're smart. The Buccaneers are 0-2 against the Saints this season. One of them being a blowout. It was like 35-3 or something. It was just like ridiculous. The other being the first game of the year, and it was somewhat close, but not really. A lot has happened since then. The Buccaneers have sort of found their stride. Tom Brady's more comfortable in the offense. They got a few more healthy bodies back on the defense. The Saints, look, kind of got lucky against the Bears last week. The Bears had plenty of chances to make that a game. And, you know, it wasn't a blowout by any means. The Bears' defense isn't that good. I'm taking the Buccaneers. The spread is Saints favored by 3 points. I'm taking the Buccaneers and the points. I don't see the Saints beating them 3 times in a row in 1 year.
Yeah, that would be like too perfect, right? Like, third time's a charm, but the way the world is, the way everything is, probably not.
Yeah,
I think the Buccaneers are just gonna like come through like, hey, and win.
I think so.
Out of nowhere.
I think so. I think the Buccaneers have ascended and the Saints sort of stayed the same. Now, the Saints' defense is still good. Brady is just... I don't know. It's hard. The only thing I'm sure of is that the under will hit. It will be under 52 points. Because I just don't see the Saints running up the score on the Buccaneers defense, or vice versa, the Buccaneers putting up too many points on the Saints defense. So the only thing I'm going to bet on here is the under of 52 points. But I do deep down think the Buccaneers are going to win. And I hope I'm wrong. Because I would much rather see Mr. Drew Broken Ribs Breeze come to Lambeau, where it's going to be significantly colder, and try to throw.
Why you want to see that happen? Why? You want the drama?
I guess
you
so.
want the drama.
And look, I'm putting myself ahead of things. The Packers could absolutely lose tomorrow,
okay.
And then I would look like the biggest douchebag in the world.
Scenarios. That's just what's going on. All these scenarios.
It's very unsettling. See, now that I'm putting it all out there, my words are starting to scare me. All right, let's move on from the NFL. Let's go to the NBA, which you know much more about.
Exactly.
So there was a James Harden trade. James Harden
trade.
Yeah, because it was epic. It involved like 5 teams, or potentially 5 teams, and it sent James Harden, disgruntled Houston Rocket, from Houston to Brooklyn to join up with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and a bunch of no-name guys. In turn, it sent Victor Oladipo, who used to be my homie, but now he's not my homie no more. He goes to Houston, and through that deal, the Pacers get Karis LeVert, who we originally drafted a few years ago, and then traded to the Nets for Thaddeus Young. Remember Thad?
Thaddy! Wait, where's Thaddeus?
In Chicago, I believe.
Oh, no, I like Thaddeus.
I know. He was a great player, and the trade worked at the time, but Karis LeVert was a little young, a little raw. In Brooklyn, he shined. He became a man, a real NBA player, and now we get him back via the Harden, Oladipo, blah, blah, blah trade. And Oladipo, by the way, basically has the same stats as Karis LeVert. He's just a younger version, a cheaper version, and he's locked up for the next 3 years on contract. Oladipo was set to become a free agent at the end of the year, so he was going to leave no matter what. So
trade him early. Get out of here.
That's really the point.
Leave.
The national media claims the Indiana Pacers won this entire James Harden trade. It's being labeled the James Harden trade, but really, the Pacers...
The James Harden trade, Chapter 11, history book.
I mean, it's one of the biggest trades in history, but it's also... Okay, so we're going to break down Brooklyn now, because we just left Brooklyn, and
Bye.
We went to, I guess, 2 or 3 seasons in a row of Pacers-Nets games, because the tickets were so doggone cheap.
Yeah.
And then they got Kyrie, and then it was like plus 30 to the ticket price. And I'm sure right now a ticket, well, COVID, but still, those tickets would be easily 60 for the same ones we were getting for 16.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad we got out of that, but the Nets now have all the 3 types of guys that you're going to see in Brooklyn. There's the weirdly skinny guy. That's Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. Just weird, tall, rail thin. The huge novelty beard guy.
Yeah.
That's James Harden. And then the astrology, conspiracy theory, aloof guy, which is Kyrie Irving. So Brooklyn,
big head.
Brooklyn's being represented very well with these dudes.
Good for Brooklyn. I mean, it's really going to make Brooklyn lit in
But nobody can go to games, so it's just
I
sort of
guess, yeah. So what's the point? What's the point of basketball? Shut it down. I want to see it.
it's interesting. So the upsetting thing for Brooklyn in all of this is that Kyrie Irving has sort of been missing for the past week or so. Apparently not playing because of how upset he was about the things that happened at the Capitol. And it turns out, no, he just had COVID and he was trying to downplay it. But hey,
I got COVID,
also,
but I'm also upset. But
well,
I also got COVID, so I
he
really
just
can't do anything about it.
he tries to be like this super thinker. Like he's the guy that was famously claiming that the world was flat. What the hell, guy?
Yeah, he's old big head. He has a big head.
He tries to be smarter than he is. Let's be honest. I don't want to be one of these people
It's
that
like,
say,
you're a basketball player. I mean, no one's expecting anything from you. Just like, come on, relax.
yeah, and he's a great player, but also sort of selfish, sort of me. And I don't know how all three of these dudes together, who are all sort of selfish, me, are going to work together. Like, if this was on
Yeah, like-
PlayStation, it would work. But
yeah, like I'm the number one guy. You think there's gonna be like competition?
the whole point is they all think they're the number one guy.
Who's gonna get the feature on? I don't know. Game day. I don't know.
Oh, like
graphics, the little graphics.
Right. Well, that's the problem. And the best teams that have ever won titles, they've all had players that were great, but also that knew their roles. And if everybody thinks they're the number one, none of them are the number one, and it'll create conflict. It'll create discourse in the locker room. Well, no, Pippen followed his role, and for a little while there,
Well, yeah.
he took less money.
He knew what was up. He knew.
Right. Well, I wish you luck, Brooklyn, because in all of 2 years, these three players that you just went and mortgaged the future for can all opt out of their contracts and go elsewhere, and you'll be left with like burning buildings.
Why? Because they're in high demand. They're like all-stars.
Well, no, just the way that they set up their contracts and signed.
Yeah, but they're like the only people that can do that.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Spencer Dinwiddie or Jared Allen, they can't do those kind of things. But since it's like, oh my God, James Harden,
Right.
you get to kind of, and same with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in Los Angeles. They sort of did the same thing. I feel like that experiment's probably going to end next year, and they're going to be on different teams. Also, Oladipo in Houston, he's already looking for a trade. So basically, the Rockets traded Karis LeVert, who they just got from Brooklyn, to Indiana for nothing because Oladipo is going to be a trade piece, probably for Miami, where he has a house, and that's where he wanted to go all along. And again, the Pacers won the James Harden trade. Thank you very much. So let's get to politics, because I know you've been a news fiend for the past few days, especially during the second impeachment.
Yes.
Break down some of the shit on the street.
Well, I've come to the realization that I've become my grandparents in the sense that I'm watching news all day, and I'm not watching it. I mean, it's just like on in the background. You know, I go back and forth from my emails to the news, and I watched the debate against, the Democrats and the Republicans on the impeachment hearing, and they were very telling, and it was my new favorite reality TV show. Seriously, I could watch that like every day. very interesting. I mean, obviously, I was pissed off, but just hearing some of what the Republicans had to say, and they kept deferring their time, which I thought was funny because like I felt like that meant like they didn't have anything like to say, or like they were just like rewriting their script, and like I don't know, they kept mentioning unity, which was very ironic, and like literally everybody that spoke mentioned unity. Um,
It's just embarrassing that everyone's bailing on him when they could have done it at any time in the past 4 years.
well, I mean, it's not everyone. What do you mean bailing on Trump? I mean, it's not everyone
Well,
that's
not
bailing on
not the
him.
politicians, but all the social media platforms, their banks, their shit like Target is
Well, this is
disowning
the
him.
thing, and this is truly the problem with the conservative Republican Party. Not everyone. I can't lump them all. Don't come for me. But it's when something happens to them personally, then their eyes are open. Then they realize what the fuck. But other than that, like they don't have that empathy where they can empathize with somebody else that's going through something that they haven't gone through and sort of form their opinions based off that. They don't have that. So the whatever happened in the Capitol, which was completely fucked, when that happened to them personally. Now they're fucking awake, and now they're like, oh shit, like
Look what
what
he's
have
done.
we been what have we been supporting this whole time? Like, nah, like I don't want my name on this. And that is the real problem. Have empathy, open your fucking eyes, stop being so conservative. Like it's 2021. I mean, how many times do we have to say that? It's 2020. It's 2021. Like get over it. Get over yourself and start thinking about other people.
Well, he incited a riot. I mean, I guess you could just blame those people. They probably would have done something anyway. Maybe not. They're just stupid naturally, but also he came with this weak ass, fake ass,
Punk ass.
just this loser last ditch effort speech, denouncing his mobs and saying don't do this, it's criminal. It's basically his people telling him this is what you have to say so it may save your ass later in court whenever you're not the president. But then he went on to complain about his social media accounts. It was almost like his advisors were like, okay, say this stuff denouncing your supporters and tell them not to do anything crazy in the inauguration. That's your vegetables. And then you can say this shit about your social media accounts. That's your ice cream. And he's like, okay.
I feel like they didn't even want him to say anything about his social media. I mean, like, it's like he wanted to talk about it the whole time. Like, that's how I feel. It's just like on the tip of his tongue. He had to get his little speech out first. And then, like, he could finally breathe. Like, he can say what he needs to say. And first of all, it's a joke. Everyone, all the news media was like covering the debate, the impeachment debate, and this guy comes out with like a fucking little speech that couldn't even be live, and it was just stupid.
Yeah, it's like, all right, take two. You said the N-word a few times there. We're gonna redo it again. Oh, did I? All right, let's roll again. My bad. It was a terrific speech, though. Yes. All right, let's leave on some good news here. First of all, Blessed Biddies will be starting back up. When?
Yeah, we'll start up. We'll have an episode out definitely by next week.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. And Joe Biden calls for $1,400 checks.
Biden?
How are you gonna spend your Joe Biden money?
Oh, I'm saving that. I'm saving it. You know what? That's not the best answer. It's not the answer you want to hear. I understand that.
No, I'm saving it too. But what are we saving for? But a new car. Dun, 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 dun. Any people listening who have a car for sale or lease or just want to give it to us, hit us up.
We need a car.
Yeah, Lafayette is not the area for walking.
Seriously.
Very little sidewalks, and when they do have sidewalks, they end abruptly.
Yes, I hate that. Like, why?
Great city planning.
They start out of nowhere and end abruptly. I don't like it.
And the last thing to get us until the Packers game tomorrow. Lil Wayne, one of my most hated rappers, but one of the biggest Green Bay Packer fans, is set to drop a new Packers hype song.
Hey.
The last one he dropped was in 2010. I think we all remember green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow, green and yellow. Aaron Rodgers got the ball. About to throw a touchdown pass. Do it out.
Hey.
So here's what he said on his new hype song. Yeah. I want them to hear it and be ready to run through a wall. Me and Coach Matt been cool. I put a lot of time into it. I worked on it for 3 days, and I usually don't do that.
So you know it's going to be good.
Wow. A whole 3 days.
So you know it's going to be really good.
Well, we're all waiting, and hopefully...
I feel like you like Lil Wayne in the sense that he is also from Louisiana, right?
Yeah, he's from outside of New Orleans, and not a Saints fan.
And he's not a Saints fan.
That's the only garage that we park our cars in when it comes to our feelings for each other. But yeah, no, he has some really quality verses, and that's why I don't like him so much.
The Carter 3.
Here's the thing.
Listen,
I don't like his beats. Whenever he's on a good
he got
beat,
some Kanye beats.
That's what I'm saying. Whenever he's on a good beat, he sings. But whenever he's on those trap ass beats, and he's just like nya nya, I can miss that. I can miss it. All right, until next time, thank you, Maddy, for being on the show.
Thank you. I'm going to go listen to some Lil Wayne.
Yeah, blast that shit. And until next time, don't die. Go, Pack, go.